Hi everyone, I'm Caitlin. I'm an English teacher here on Verbling. Today's class is for intermediate learners and it's about mixed conditionals. Um, for all of you watching, I'm very sorry for the delay. I had an issue with the link to this class. Okay, good. At least one student has made it back. Matteo, I'm very sorry about that.
Oh, it's okay.
I'm not sure what happened, but anyway, I'm back now. I opened a different class link or something. So anyway, okay, so for those of you watching, uh, again, Verbling is a language learning platform. If you're interested in classes, there are English and Spanish classes 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And if you're interested in private tutoring, there's a greater range of languages available. Okay. Um, all right, so Matteo, I'm glad you made it back. Did anyone else join the class? Were people confused? Okay. It looks like we have one more student here. Christina?
Yeah. Hello.
Hi. How are you?
I'm fine, thanks.
Good. Nice to see you again. I'm doing well. Okay. So, Hussein? Ah, okay. So, for those of you who are chatting, so Hussein, Anas, there were some issues with the link for the class, but the link now should be correct. You should be able to join this class. So sorry we started late. Okay, so let's see. For Mateo and Christina, tell me, have you both studied the conditionals before?
Yes, I've studied.
Yes? 1, 2, and 3? All of them?
I know three of them.
Okay, good. And you, Mateo?
I remember some particular with conditional, but I know one conditional.
You know the first conditional. Okay, good.
First.
Okay, good. So today we'll be talking about the first, second, and third conditional, right? The mixed conditionals. So I'm a bit concerned about, let's see. Hi, everyone.
Hi.
Hi, very sorry about all of the confusion in class. Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you right now.
Good. I'm not sure. I
Yeah.
think I'm having connection problems, and then we had problems with the link to the class. So anyway, okay, so we can get started. I know some of you have done a little bit of at least first and second conditional with me before, but if you haven't, there's no problem. We're going to review all of the conditionals today, and we'll practice using them to make sure you can differentiate between the different conditional forms. Okay, so I'll give you an overview of the class. We're going to review the grammar structures behind the different conditionals first. Then we'll do a few exercises to make sure you understand when we use each conditional. And then finally, we'll do some speaking practice. So for those of you who have been in my classes before, which is all of you, the structure should be familiar for you. Okay, so any questions before we get started?
No.
All right, so I'm going
Oh,
to
no.
share my screen. Some of the slides in this presentation may look familiar to some of you, but some of it should be new as well. Okay, and hi, aka Ken.
Hello.
Hi,
How are you?
good, how are you?
Yes, I'm fine, thank you.
Great. Okay, so we're going to review the conditionals today. We'll review the grammar, do some exercises, and do some speaking. Okay?
Okay.
All right. So, can everyone see this?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I see.
Great. Okay, so does this look familiar to anyone?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, you've seen this, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so we used this when we reviewed the first and second conditionals, but we didn't look at the other ones in very much detail. Now we're going to look at all of the conditionals and really distinguish between when we use each one. So, the zero conditional. Can someone read this example sentence? Or these example sentences? Can someone read them out loud?
If you don't water flowers, they die. If you
Good. Christina, go ahead.
If you have a headache, stop watching TV.
Okay, good. So a zero conditional. As you know, with conditionals, we always have two parts of the sentence, right? We have an if clause and a main clause, right? The if clause always starts with if. It's easy to figure out which part is the if clause. Okay, in the zero conditional, we have the same tense, the same verb tense in each clause, right? So we have the present simple in both. And just to note that in the main clause, it can be an imperative, a command. So in this case, stop is a command, right? And we use this type of conditional to express a general truth. More often than not, it's for this reason, right? We're talking about scientific facts or laws, right? Things that are always, always true. And it also can be for giving advice. Okay, any questions?
No.
Okay,
No.
all right. I know this is review for some of you. Bear with me. Okay, so the first conditional. Let's see, Hussein, can you read the example sentences?
Yeah. First conditional. If the weather is nice, we will go for a walk. If you don't apologize, she will never trust you again.
Great.
If clause, okay.
Okay, good, thank you. So yeah, in the if clause, it's almost like the zero conditional, except here we're using the present simple in the if clause and the future simple in the main clause, right? So here we're talking again about the present and future, but unlike the zero conditional, we're not talking about facts, about absolute conditions.
Kathleen,
Here, although we are talking, yes. Sorry, can you hear me?
yeah. Can I ask you a question?
Yeah,
If I say, like, for example, if you heat the water, it will boil. Is it not correct, or should I say, like, if you heat the water, it boils?
So it
What?
depends on, there's a slight difference in the meaning. Both are correct.
Yeah, I know, but if you, yeah, okay.
Okay, if you use the zero conditional and say, if you heat water, it boils, that means you're talking about a general rule, right? You're just stating this fact. If you use the first conditional for this sentence, if you heat water, it will boil. It could be either explaining this to someone, like in the moment, if you heat the water, it will boil. Or it could also be talking about more of a general rule, right? So it's not incorrect just to use the first conditional in that case. But for those sentences, for those sort of rules that are always true, we tend to use the zero conditional,
Okay.
just because it leaves no room for possibility. It's absolute.
Kate, I
Uh-huh.
have a question.
Go
And
ahead.
there's other form future. For example, in this case, is we will go, and I know we going to go. This is
Yeah.
other form future.
Uh-huh. Yeah,
Going
that's a
to
good
go.
point, actually. Uh-huh. Yeah, so that's a variation on a structure that you can use in the first conditional. Very good question, Matteo. So here, we can say, if the weather, we, can everyone see this? Sorry, I know it's a bit small.
Yeah.
Okay, so it says, if the weather is nice, we are going to go for a walk.
Okay, this is the future. Going to go.
Uh-huh. Yeah, we're going. So it's just a bit more wordy, right? Instead of we will go, we have
Uh-huh.
to say we are going to go. So I would say, it's absolutely fine. It's definitely something you'll hear in spoken English, but it's not quite as concise, right? Here you're using 5 words. Here you're using 2. So, but absolutely fine as well.
But it's the same situation.
It's the
I,
exact, it
I
means
mean, in which case I use the going to go and will.
it's the exact same situation.
Uh-huh.
We are going to is, uh, I would say, a bit less formal, right? This is more often used in casual conversation, whereas we will go for a walk is it tends to be more formal.
Okay.
Okay?
Oops. Kate? Kate is out. Oh. Kate?
Oh, hello? Can you
Kate?
hear me? Hi.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
okay.
Sorry, I think I'm having some connection problems. Sorry about that. Okay. But everyone can hear me now, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Great.
Okay, okay.
Sorry.
I hear you.
Okay, good. All right, so the second conditional is more interesting, right? Let's see, Matteo, can you read this example?
Okay. Jax wants to buy a house, but he can't do this because he doesn't have any money.
Good. Okay. And the example sentence?
If I had a lot of money, I would buy a big house.
Perfect, right? So here, as a lot of you know already, we're using this structure. In the if clause, we're using the past simple, right? And in the main clause, we're using would plus the infinitive. So again, if I had a lot of money, I would buy a big house. Here, we are still talking about the present or future, right? But unlike the first conditional, the second conditional is used to talk about unreal or improbable situations. Okay, so if you want to talk about something that's more likely or more possible, we'll be using the first conditional. The second conditional is about hypothetical situations. Okay, any questions?
Kathleen,
Yes.
sometimes could is used for possibilities like I could do something. When we talk about something like if you do this, I could do this, saying this is correct or not?
Absolutely, yeah. So you could say, if I...
No, I mean, no, not this one. Okay, in this second conditional, we can use it, but with first conditional, like if you do this, I could do this.
Okay, so let's see. So what's an example of what you're saying?
My example is like if, for example, if you know that you could go there, for example.
Okay, so that's not correct. So yeah,
Not
some people say that, but it's not correct because there you're mixing conditionals.
But some native speakers use it.
Yeah,
think-
and sometimes we make mistakes.
Okay.
But that's not even a mistake that really sounds very natural to me. There are some things that we say that are common mistakes that you'll hear from native speakers, right? This one is, if you hear this, it sounds a bit uneducated or it sounds a bit strange. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Good. All right. But good question. Okay. So now, my favorite conditional, the third conditional. Let's see. AKA Ken, can you read this example?
Okay. Jack wanted to buy a house. No. Example: if I had had a lot of money, I would have bought a big house.
Kate, are there?
Hello?
Hello?
Class, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, we can.
Today.
Sorry. Today's not my day.
There are two Kathleen's right now.
I know. I don't know the other one. Okay,
Yeah.
good. My
Kate has-
twin left. Okay, my twin left. Now it's just me. Okay, I'm very, very sorry. I'm
No
trying to fix.
problem, Kate.
All right.
I have storm and you have problem connection.
Yeah. Maybe it's the weather here. I don't know. I'm using an Ethernet cable and everything, so who knows?
No problem.
Okay. Hi, Rafa.
Hi, teacher. Hi,
How are
everyone. Sorry for the delay.
Hi. No
I was
problem.
attending outside.
Okay, no problem. I've been having some connection problems, so forgive me. Okay, so AKA Ken, you
Yeah,
are...
I lost the screen share.
Okay, here we go.
Okay. If I had had a lot of money, I would have bought a big house.
Good. Okay, so before, it's very similar to our second conditional sentence, right? But it's different. In the second conditional, we were talking about the present or future. In the third conditional, what are we talking about?
The past.
The past. Excellent. Yeah, does everyone see that? So we're thinking about an alternate past. We're imagining how things could have been different in the past. So are these...
Are these
Connection. Lost teacher.
She came back.
She back
Okay,
to
back
that.
again. I'm so sorry, class. All right.
No problem.
So, okay, so, right, we were talking about the past in the third conditional, right? So this is an absolutely unreal situation because obviously we can't change the past. Okay, so let's look at the difference between the second and third conditional because this is a tricky one. All right, so let's see. Rafa, can you read this slide?
Third, yeah. Second versus third conditional. If I saw a car accident, I would call an ambulance. But if I don't see an accident now, this is unlikely to happen. If I had seen a car accident, I would have called an ambulance, but I didn't see an accident yesterday. This is the contrary to the fact in the past. The difference, second and third conditional, the difference is about time. Second conditional refers to the present and future. Third conditional refers to past situations.
Okay, excellent. Thank you. So again, as we said, with first and second conditional, we're talking about different degrees of likelihood in the present or future. Whereas with the third conditional, we're talking about absolutely unreal, imagined situations about an alternate.
Silence.
All right, I'm back again. Sorry. Can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
Okay, and my twin is back, I see. That's weird. Okay, hi Adela.
Hello.
Sorry, so as you can see, I've been having a few connection problems. It seems to be cutting out. I just tried to change the settings on my internet, so we'll see if that helps. Okay, so we're just about to, does anyone have questions about the grammar before we move on to some exercises and some speaking?
You can use the third conditional with good, could too.
The first conditional?
The third conditional with
The
could.
third conditional. Yeah, so you could say, so for instance,
For example, if I had gone to the party, I could have seen to Margaret. Would be,
I could have seen Margaret, absolutely.
yeah.
Right? Perfect. Okay, and so another example, on the PowerPoint, we had the sentence, if I had had the money, I would have bought a house. So there you could also say, if I had had the money, I could have bought a house. Right? So there is a slight difference in meaning, but both are correct. Okay?
Thank you very much.
All right, no problem. Okay, so let's practice what we've learned. Let's see, do you prefer to work from a Google Doc or do you prefer that I share my screen?
You can do both.
Both.
You can give us the link and you can share your screen. So
Okay.
But I think in this case, because we have a problem connection, I think a better solution is Google Doc.
Okay, yeah, I think you're right. Okay, so I'm going to send you the link to a document. Okay, and what you're going to do here, you have two different types of exercises. In the first one, you'll be working with first and second conditional. In the second one, you'll be working with third conditional. Okay, so hold on, let me send you the link. Okay, hold on a minute. Okay, so while the document is uploading, we'll just start with some examples in the chat box. Okay, so here I'm going to give you some example sentences looking in the Google chat box, not in the Verbling chat box. Okay, because also because of the connection problem, my Verbling app isn't working. So in the group chat, I want you to look at some example sentences. So here, I want you to choose between first or second conditional. So who can try this example sentence for me?
I can.
Okay, go ahead.
If I hadn't gotten home too late tonight, I would have eaten.
Again?
If I had not gotten home too late tonight, I would have eaten.
Okay, that is a correct sentence. But notice that you have not eat. It's negative.
Okay. Then if I hadn't okay. I didn't eat.
Okay, no worries. So Hussein's sentence was correct if eat had been positive. But here we have a negative.
Okay. So if I got home too late tonight, I wouldn't eat.
Okay, so
Yes.
I think this one actually works best in the first conditional.
First. Okay.
So what would that be?
Tonight. Yeah. Okay. If I get home too late tonight, I will not eat.
Yeah, good. If I get home too late tonight, I will not eat, or I won't eat. Perfect.
I got confused with tonight.
No worries.
I thought it was in the past tonight.
Okay, yeah, no problem. Okay, good. So here you have the link to the Google Doc with all of the exercises.
Okay.
Okay, so can everyone see this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Yes,
So,
I have.
all right, so take a few minutes and do the first, let's see. So in the first exercise where it says conditional worksheet, you'll be choosing between first and second conditionals. And no, sorry. Actually, look down on the second page where it says conditionals 1 and 2 mixed worksheet. Does everyone see that?
Mm-hmm.
It says conjugate the verb in parentheses in the correct tense used in the first or second conditional. Okay, so I want you to take a few minutes and try to answer those 10 questions on your own, and then we will review them.
Sorry, Kate, make a second page on 1 and 2 and second page.
So where
Second page
conditionals 1 and 2
to mix it.
Okay, conditional worksheet, fourth page, okay?
No, that one, the second.
And second.
On the
Second,
second.
conditional 1 and 2 mixed worksheet. Okay.
Yeah, take a few minutes.
From 1 to 10 question,
Yeah.
to 10 sentences. Okay.
So take a few minutes and work on this, and then we will review together.
Okay.
All right. Okay, sorry about that again. All right, so it's absolutely fine if you're not finished. I know I gave you a lot, but since this is only first and second conditionals, I think we can review it a bit more quickly and then spend more time on the next exercise, which also includes third conditional. Okay, so who can do number 1?
If she knows the time, she will come to the meeting.
Perfect. Excellent, Adela. Number 2.
She would attend the meeting if she had the time.
Perfect. She would attend the meeting if she had the time.
Yeah.
And notice here that the main clause comes first. Okay, number 3.
Peter will say yes if you ask him.
Perfect, Rafa. Number 4.
Unless he finishes soon, he won't be able to come.
Good. Unless he finishes soon, he won't be able to come. Perfect. Number 5.
If he were president, he would invest more in education.
Excellent. If he were president, he would invest more in education. And a note here, obviously the past tense form for he, for third person, should be was, right? But we tend to use were instead of was when we are using these conditional sentences. Okay. Very good, Hussein. Number 6.
I can.
What did you do? I'm sorry.
Okay, go ahead.
What would you do if you were president?
What would you do if you were president? Perfect. Number 7.
She would fly Norwest Airlines if she had a choice.
Okay, take another look.
Yeah.
She will fly.
She will fly. Good. Yeah. So this one, I understand why you made that mistake, Christina, because this one sounds more natural in second conditional, but
Yeah.
it's possible in first conditional. Okay. Number 8.
If I thought I could do it, I will do it.
Good. If I thought T-H-O-U-G-H-T. I could do it, I would do it. Perfect. Number 9.
Alan would invite Mary if it were his party.
Excellent. Again, we use were more often than was, but was is also correct, but were sounds better. So good. And number 10?
She won't marry Peter if he asks her.
Perfect. Okay. Any questions about this exercise?
Kathleen, you said we can use was. Saying it like Alan would invite Mary if it was his party is correct also?
Alan would invite Mary if it was his party. Yeah, it's correct. A lot of native speakers say that, right? Like I have a lot of friends, educated people will say that. For me, it doesn't sound as good. I think that were sounds a little bit more refined.
Grammatically, the saying was is not correct, right?
It is correct. It is correct. It didn't used to be correct, but since so many people have started saying was instead of were, now the standard, the people who set the rules for the English language now accept both. Okay, good question. Okay, so now finally we can practice these mixed conditionals. And since we don't have too much time, I would like to do this exercise together as a group. And I'll comment on some things as we go through it. Okay, so you'll have to think on your feet. All right, so the first one, and so again, you're choosing between first, second, and third conditional. Okay, so would someone like to try number 1 under the mixed conditionals exercise?
It's first.
It's first, yeah. So how would you answer this, or how would you complete this sentence?
If we meet at 9:13, we'll have plenty of time.
Perfect. If we meet at 9:30, we will or we'll have plenty of time. Very good. Number 2.
Lisa would find the milk if she looked in the fridge.
Good. If she looked in the fridge. Excellent. And which type of conditional is this?
Second.
Second. Perfect. Okay, number 3.
The zoo.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
Christina, go ahead.
The zookeeper would have punished her with a fine if she had fed the animal.
Excellent. Good. So to feed is an irregular verb, and so perfect. The zookeeper would have punished her with a fine if she had fed. I'll type this as well. If she had fed the animals. Perfect. And so, Christina, in this sentence, are we referring to the future or the past?
Past. It's
good.
It's third conditional.
Yeah, it's unreal. In reality, did she feed the animals in the past?
No, she didn't.
No, she didn't. Excellent. Okay. Number 4.
If you spoke louder, your classmate couldn't understand you.
Why is it negative here?
No, positive.
Could be positive. Okay, good.
Could understand you.
Perfect. If you spoke louder, your classmates could understand you. Okay, perfect, Adela. And which type of conditional is this?
Second conditional.
Second, absolutely. Okay, and notice here, class, that Adela used could instead of would. And she did a great job doing that, because here, could sounds more natural, although would also be correct. But I think could here sounds better. Okay. And hi, Ahmad.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm fine. How are you, teacher?
Good. So if you look in the group chat, there's a link to the document that we're looking at now.
Can you post it, please?
Yes. Let's see, I'll paste it again. All right. Can you see that?
Yes, yeah. Thank
Okay,
you.
and we're doing the last exercise
Oh.
on the second page.
I'll try.
Okay,
Gotcha.
good. Number 5.
Dan will arrive safe. He drove slowly.
Okay,
Would
so,
arrive.
yeah, so almost, Mateo, very close. So you used a first conditional, but here we have a second conditional. Since we have drove, what tense is drove?
If he drove, it's a past.
Great, yeah, so since we have the past tense, we know we're using the second conditional. And so in the if clause, we can't use will. We have to use something different. Do you remember what that is?
Oh, and so I wrong. Will not use will.
Okay, no worries. So the answer is, as Christina said, you would, or sorry, Dan would arrive.
Ah, okay,
Would
okay.
arrive.
Then would arrive safe. He drove past. Past and okay.
Past, if we use past in the if clause, it means we need to use would plus the infinitive in the main clause.
Okay.
Okay, very good. All right, number 6.
May I read? You would have had no trouble at school if you had done your homework.
You would
Would
have had,
had.
perfect. You would have had no trouble if you had done your homework. Perfect. And this is which type of conditional?
Third conditional.
Third, excellent. Right? An unreal situation in the past.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
If you swim in this lake, you'll shiver from cold.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Great,
Yes, we
okay.
can.
Hopefully that's the last time for this class. Okay, very sorry. So good. Christina, you're correct. It was a third conditional, an unreal situation in the past. Okay. So number 7.
If you swim in this lake, you'll shiver from cold.
Perfect. And which type of conditional is that?
First
First.
condition.
Okay, great. Good. Okay, so this means, so if you imagine this scenario, the person saying this is standing next to her friend, and her friend is thinking about jumping in the lake, right? So this is a very real and possible situation. Okay. Number 8.
The door will unlock if you press the green button.
Excellent, Mateo. Another first conditional, right? Very good. Okay. And here we could use, so Hussein, as you were saying before, there's sometimes overlap between when we use the zero conditional and the first conditional. We could also say the door unlocks if you press the green button. In this case. Okay? If it's something that always happens, you can also use the zero conditional. Okay. Number 9.
If May would ask her teacher, would had answered her questions.
Okay, Rafa, almost, not quite. You're missing a word.
Had asked.
Yeah.
Past.
So here, so
Had
here we
had. This case is had.
No,
had
had,
asked.
Asked.
yeah.
If Mel had asked, here I'm going to type it in the group chat box. If Mel had asked her teacher, okay. Alright, so we say if Mel had asked her teacher, he'd have answered her questions. Okay, so this one is tricky. Which conditional is this?
Third condition.
The third conditional, right? So another unreal situation in the past. So here, in reality, did Mel ask her teacher for help?
No.
No, she didn't, and she should have.
Yeah. She or he?
Yeah.
He.
Well, it says her teacher, so she.
Yeah, because he.
Okay.
Yeah, right. Yes, the
But it
teacher.
could,
Yeah, the teacher
yeah.
is Mel. Yes, sorry.
Good. Okay. And the last one.
Second condition.
Is it?
So
Yes, it is. The second conditional.
Second.
Good. Okay, and what's the answer?
I would call the office if I were you.
Yeah. So here again, it's showing that you can use was or were. I would call the office if I prefer to use were, if I were you.
Was is a first person and were second person.
No, so in the past, how do we conjugate the verb to be in the past?
Okay.
I was. You
Were.
He
Okay. Was.
we
Were.
and they.
Were.
Okay, great. So the curious thing, so yes, was is for first person, were is for second person in the past. But the curious thing with the second conditional is that we say, if I were you, or if he were smarter. Right? So with the first and the third person, we tend to use were instead of was, but only in these conditional sentences. Okay. All right. Any other questions? Okay. All right. I wanted to say. Okay. Go ahead.
I want to ask you if is there three kinds of conditionals types?
Yeah, there are three main conditionals.
Three types.
Yeah, so first, second, and third.
Three types.
There is also a zero conditional, but it's not as common. Okay. Any other questions?
Yeah.
Okay, so I wanted to save more time for speaking, but I'll end class with a question. If your country had won the World Cup, how would you have felt?
Can you repeat the question, please? Because the connection is.
Okay, I typed the question also. If your country had won the World Cup, how would you have felt?
Of course, we feel happy and enjoy this celebration.
Yeah, so you would have felt.
It's wonderful. Yes, I would have feel happy.
Good. Other responses? If your country had won the World Cup, how would you have felt?
If my country had won the World Cup, I would have remembered 4 years ago.